Good morning. This is Final Fantasy XIV. This is my first stream post-operation, which maybe I'll talk about a bit later. We're also house-sitting a dog, and I've noticed the dog gets picked up by the microphone. At an online D&D session a few days ago, people are like, where's the dog coming from? But yeah, going to do MSQs, almost done, almost at Heavensward. Probably going to do Crystal Tower. If a certain friend jumps on, might do a few specific extreme raids. Might eat poop there. We'll see. This pose isn't anything in particular, but I'm like, you know, I should do like a pose, the group pose, whenever I start the game up at the very least, so I have like thumbnail material. Hey Dylan. Thanks for 24 months. Wow. Wow. Yeah, I don't know if you caught this, but we're house-sitting a dog, and like also the neighbors are getting their siding replaced today, so there might just be noises in the background, and there's not much I can really do about it. What can I do for you today, adventure? Eldritch trinket to trade. You do not know the puppy. One of Kristen's co-workers' friends was going camping and needed someone to watch their dog for a few days, so we have him until tomorrow. His name's Broly. Eh? They've got you running errands now. Scions really know how to make most of your talents, don't they? Sending the savior of Eorzea to the bleed market. Fine use of your time, that is. Seriously, though, you best not say no, or we'll have you mucking out the Chocobo stables next. Anyway, what is it that you were here to pick up? The Moon Daisy, was it? Here then, take it. Tell that Ito has I've got a wide selection of headwear in stock if she ever decides to place the rowdy old mask of hers. I know she needs to. Yeah, silence on Pupper. Yeah, how bad is it? The dog was quiet for like the 30 minutes, but I was sitting here like eating my cereal and like watching YouTube before I started streaming, and then the second I like went live and started talking about it, the dog started barking. And the hammer started going in the background. Like, fun timing. Looks like Kristen might be up to deal with it, though. It's fine. Yeah, just house-sitting a dog for a day or two. Kristen's doing most of the work. I ran around with him a bit yesterday. Yeah, good morning, Ethan. The dog's name is Broly. Yes. Yes, it is Dragon Ball. Up. Ida. Run over Ida with my car. Rowena can be so annoying. She will not take no for an answer. Every time I visit her, she insists I replace my visor with something more fashionable. I insist on that too, actually. It looks awful. And when I tell her I like it just fine, the way it is, she says it again, and then again, and then again. It drives me crazy. Yeah, I got the funny car. And it's like, why would I ever use anything else now? Oh. What I mean to say is I really appreciate you doing this for me, so anyway, let's see it. Moonbrita loved these things, you know. I hope that somewhere, somehow, she knows I'm still thinking of her. Moonbrita.
I'll never forget you, Moon.
What?
None of us will.
Why is she talking in a tin can? Am I hearing a weird echo?
The song riseth to a crescendo.
Midgard somewhere sounds fine to me. Dargans. Here come the Dargans.
Is that what I think it is?
Am I nuts? Is that just her? Something sounds really wrong.
Hello, can you hear me?
He sounds echoey too. What's happening? Hold on.
We have received grave tidings.
Okay, I
from
fixed it on my
Ishgard.
end.
Pray return to the Rising Stones at once.
I had the audio monitor on for a sound I was already hearing. That should be fixed. I do need to turn up my volume for me then. Let's do that. Mordona not have one? And here, where's Mordona? Right here. Does the game audio sound fine to everyone? It's looking really weird on the audio monitor. Okay, that looks a bit better actually. Okay. Alpha, no. My apologies for the interruption. I was deeply saddened to learn of Mimbrida's passing. Her loss will be sorely felt. Recent developments in Ishgard leave us little time to mourn. The envoy from Corthus will arrive soon, and we must hasten to hear her report. The envoy is here. Thank you for receiving me at such short notice. Time is of the essence, so I would forego the usual pleasantries if I may. Certainly, you come with news of the Dravinians. Aye, the dragons have begun their attack in earnest. The first wave reached the Central Highlands a short time ago. The battle was joined soon after. Sir Americ himself sailed forth with a contingent of Temple Knights and several companies of the noble house's finest. Though the beasts were ultimately forced into retreat, our victory, maybe called as such, came at the cost of many of our own. Too many. We will not withstand a second wave should the Dravinians renew their assault. You paint a grim picture, my lady. Is it reinforcements you seek, then? We do. Though it breaks our pride, it is plain we cannot protect Ishgard with our ranks thus thinned by the Horde. Sir Americ would meet to you to discuss the possibility of enlisting your aid. Very well, I shall depart for Corthus at once. I must warn you, however, that the involvement of the Crystal Braves is by no means assured. Our commitment to quelling the unrest in Ul'dah must take precedence. It's with such contingencies in mind that I must make another request. The Scions of the Seventh are known for sharing close ties with all three of the grand companies in Eorzea. Would you consent to plead our case to their leaders? Though I will gladly appeal to the grand companies on your behalf, I dare not promise a favorable reply. You need say no more. Considering our past dealings with the Eorzean Alliance, I can imagine how our plea will be received. But the fate of Ishgard hangs in the balance. We must explore every avenue still open to us, no matter how unpromising. I see. Very well. I shall send envoys to each of the allied nations and have them present your request directly to the heads of the grand companies. In the event that your plea does not receive a favorable answer, know that any support is certain to be conditional. Demands will be made of Ishgard. Are you normally live this early? Not necessarily. I just woke up early and kind of was like, I have nothing else to do right now. Sometimes. Like lately it's been more so like 9, 9:30, 10, not 8:30. It is only to be expected. Rest assured that I speak with Sir Emeric's authority in this matter, and that our actions are fully sanctioned by the Holy See. Which brings me to my final request. A personal appeal to you, Warrior of Light. The Lord Commander such desires to speak with you, regardless of your fellow's involvement. You faced Midgardsummer and survived. Anything you can share of your experience may yield us an advantage over our foe. Thank you. You wear the mantle of hero well. To it seem the road leads us both to Camp Dragonhead. Seek me out when you arrive, Ryugo. Is Midgardsummer already gone? Did he disappear? At Moonbreeder's monument? Shane woke you up at 7:30 on accident, and you've just been up since then. Just like a loud noise or something? Very eepy. I have a feeling this specific part of the game is just going to be a lot of me reading. She's here again. Not Shiva.
The sons must answer for their father's misdeeds. Only then will the cycle be broken. Brothers and sisters of the heavens, we raise our voices and join you in the chorus. The sinner's feeble magics are undone. Come, claim your retribution.
Isard has been giving the best VA performance so far, I think. Like, really into the role. Have you done a trial on this bridge yet? No. I have not. What does this mean? Is my minion gone? No, I still have Midgardsummer. Alphino. Small. It seems I was the swifter Ryugo. You two, however, have arrived with time to spare, for our host is yet to make an appearance. The murmurings about camp tell of some manner of trouble at the gates of judgment. In the Lord Commander's absence, I suggest we visit the place and find out what is afoot. Okay. Yeah, Faye, I think that this last, like, line before Heavensward is probably going to be very just text and dialogue heavy. So I'm going to, like, try and go through that quickly, but I want to break it up a little bit with Crystal Tower stuff and those extreme raids. I know the dog said no strenuous exercise, but does that mean no pickleball? Unfortunately, I think it does. But that's only for 2 more days. I think starting on Thursday I can do stuff again. I think I was pushing it yesterday, just like running with the dog a little bit. Missed one. You do hear a dog. We're house sitting a dog. Or, I guess dog sitting in our house. The dog's name is Broly. He's a pit mix. His owner is a friend of one of Kristen's coworkers. When I laid eyes upon Lady Iceheart, I felt the marrow freeze within my bones. Broly. Yeah. Yeah, we got Broly here today, and we got neighbors fixing their, or replacing their house siding. So, like, there's dogs and hammers, and there's nothing I can do about it. The gates of judgment are much more than mere doors. They are the outermost layer of Ishgard's magical wards. If our first line of defense can be so easily shattered. Yelling at Kakarot. Yep. Heretic scum. How dare they meddle with our divine protections? I shall rid our nation of their blasphemy, even if it means cutting them down one by one. You need not fret over much. There are yet several layers of arcane protection that shield the city from invasion. Mother will be fine. What's wrong with Kakarot? What's wrong with Kakarot? Nothing's wrong with Kakarot. It seemed the heretic struck the first and was telling blow against Ishgard. Scions, we expected you at Camp Dragonhead. My apologies, I chanced to hear that there had been trouble at the gates, and thought it prudent to investigate the cause. You've learned of the heretic's treachery. Lady Iceheart led a force of her followers against our defenders and came close enough to dispel the first of our wards. But let us speak more of this back at the camp. Sir Americ awaits you. Not like this. Your whims roar. Lady Iceheart has grown bold indeed if she would risk direct action against the city. Come, let us do as we were bid and return to Camp Dragonhead. Lord Haw will know where Sir Americ means to receive us. I just teleported there without, like, making sure that's where I needed to, but yeah, looks right. Okay, when I was recovering from the surgery on Thursday, I watched the Final Fantasy no-clip documentary that several people had recommended me. No, if you want to meet Broly, you need to come today, either today or tomorrow, because Broly's being picked up tomorrow at some point. I think Shane said he was going to come over at some point today. Tis reassuring, indeed, to behold the countenance of a friend when one's homeland teeters on the very brink of disaster. Though a single misstep could send us plunging into the abyss, your heroic presence stokes the flames of courage within my heart. But you did not come to Dragonhead to listen to my prattling. The Lord Commander has arrived, and would treat you in the intercessory. Acting like a secretary at the moment. Yeah, I watched a no-clip Final Fantasy XIV documentary.
Greetings, sir. Shall I show you inside?
That's what that guy sounds like. Never heard of it. It was about... Okay, it was really interesting. A few people had recommended it to me, specifically Jonah. But it was about the Final Fantasy 1.0. You know, how it was developed as a sequel to basically Final Fantasy XI. What went wrong, like, what went disastrously wrong, like, and the transition to 2.0, and 2.0's release. And it's like, they talk to, like, Square Enix staff, they talk to, like, localizers, they talk to, like, some of the players. They talk, like, technical details, they talk, like, behind-the-scenes stuff. It's very interesting. Like half of the documentary is like this Yoshi P talking. They have this, like, English localizer guy who's really fun. He was, like, a big fan of the series and was an avid player in 11, and then he moved to Japan so he could, like, localize 14. So, like, maybe he's the guy that's coming up with all the really cool, clever quest names, I don't know. They probably have more than one guy working on this. I thank you for coming with such haste. and apologize for my absence. Suffice to say, Lady Iceheart and her heretics have much to answer for. Yes, but we recently returned from the gates of judgment ourselves. Given the circumstances, we quite understand if you would prefer to postpone our appointed audience. Go. I'll give you 1 week to enjoy Elden Ring's DLC, but then Dawn Trail will release. I'm not sure if this is true or not, but I heard something to the effect of, was it Dawn Trail's release date was like moved a little bit or something because of the Elden Ring DLC? I feel like I read somewhere that something's release date was moved because of the Elden Ring DLC was like too close. Maybe it wasn't Dawn Trail. On the contrary, Master Alphino, I think it more important than ever that the meeting take place. Rest assured, I shall return to my post in Ishgard's walls the moment our business is concluded. 1 week apart. I still can't believe that Sega released, like, Sonic Superstars a week before Mario Wonder, and they thought, like, oh yeah, this'll go fine. Before we move on to the subject of reinforcements, however, I would introduce you to a close friend and stalwart ally. Eistenstein. Abrelt Eistenine. Brain is happy, wallet is not. That's not Abristalt Einstein. Oh, this is like Mr. Dragoon. Oh, the Azure Dragoon, yeah. This is like a guy from the cover art of Final Fantasy IV Dragoon. An impressive title, though I confess I know precious little of the Order of Dragoons. They are formidable warriors, yet all among such masters of the lance. Eisenstein... Estinian. Estinian is without equal. Estinian is without equal. Estinian eats equally at ambulant elephants. Estinian is without equal. He, out of all warriors in Ishgard, was chosen to wield the power of dragons, and thus may contend with any Dravinian. You flatter me overmuch, Lord Commander. You are the adventurer of whom they spoke. I see now why my blood fair sang in the anticipation of our meeting. Well, now that we have all been introduced, let us proceed to the matter at hand. I will share with you what we have learned of Iceheart's design, confessed by the heretics taken captive after the assault on the gates. It would seem the Lady Iceheart and the Dravian share a common goal, the reclamation of Nidhogg's stolen eye. Nidhogg, one of the 7 great worms. How could they even compete? Who's competing with who? Well, like I would say that like people are down bad for Estinian. I feel like it's hard to be down bad for anyone if I can't see their face and they're just like a suit of armor. But maybe he'll remove his helmet at some point. Yeah, that release timing is pretty interesting. It's Elden Ring and then Dawn Trail? Are you gonna be able to beat the Elden Ring DLC in a week? Are you the type of person that can't, like, you're not gonna be able to concurrently do both? You can't do one for a few hours and then swap to the other? It's like, I need to finish this one and then play that one? His name features prominently in your nation's history, though once defeated by the hero Haldroth, the beast is said to have terrorized Korthus since Ishgard's founding. You could, but you'd prefer not to, maybe? Many of the scars our walls bear from Nidhogg's relentless efforts to raise the city. The trophy Haldroth plucked from the beast-bested worm's skull known simply as the Eye, is a treasured relic of Ishgard, one of untold power. However, should it ever be returned to Nidhogg, the dread creature would be restored to the height of his strength, and then no wall nor ward we could erect would be stout enough to deny him. My vengeful son half-waged war against Ishgard for 1,000 years. No mortal mind could comprehend the depths of his rancor. The Eye itself is secreted deep within the vault. It is kept under heavy guard, surrounded at all times by men and women who have proven their loyalty to the Holy See. They claim that the DLC is comparable in Limgrave to size, so I can probably finish it in a week. In size. Unless Miyazaki is lying. Yeah, when's he ever done that? But those stout walls and sharp blades may suffice to discourage the heretics. The dragoons are another matter. I keep saying dragoons instead of dragons and vice versa. There's individuals within the Dravinian horde whom an entire company of knights would labor to repel, say nothing of Nidhogg himself. Nor does age rob them of their strength, though through the endless march of years the dragons endure. Patient, calculating, inexorable. You must understand, these creatures do not share our perception of time. Nidhogg. Why did you say Nidhogg in chat? I'm not saying it wrong, am I? That is because he's one of the he's that word, okay? And that is especially true of the great worms. They whom spend centuries in slumber only to awake and resume their campaign if its hours had passed. Is there a new poison swamp in the DLC? The DLC is only a poison swamp. The new DLC is a linear poison swamp with small islands that you have to wait for 5 minutes on while your poison meter goes down before you walk to the next one, and sometimes enemies attack you. And that's it. And that is especially true of great worms, yes, yes, yes. It has been 20 years since Nidhogg last darkened our skies, 20 years for him to gather his strength and let us bolster our defenses. And now, just as he seems primed to return, the heretics strike at the gates. Kino. Calling Dr. Kino. You believe that Lady Iceheart is in league with the creature then? Of that we cannot be certain, though we know the heretics covet the Eye. They covet the Eye. We have been unable to determine their plans for it. Such questions aside, yada yada, 'tis a weakness the Dravinians are not like to leave untested. So it would seem you've described your plight in an admirable detail, Lord Commander, yet I cannot help but wonder at your candor. Why share such sensitive information with us? I shall speak plain. Ishgard has need of allies, and I would have you bolster our front lines in readiness for the coming battle against the dragons. Basically, you are fodder. This much I expected. Unlike our arrangement concerning the Keeper of the Lake, however, only you stand to benefit from our assistance in this matter. Fail to see why we should intervene in a conflict which concerns only Ishgard and Dravinia. When the Eorzean Alliance requested Ishgard's assistance during Operation Archon, you refused us. Does it not seem grossly unjust to demand that we now risk our lives in your private war? I make no attempt to defend my country's conduct. I only ask that you consider what were to follow were to Ishgard to follow. Having razed our city to the ground, the Horde would have little cause to linger and would return their lairs to their lairs in Dravinia. And thereafter the ruin of Karthus would be buried in stone, land would become sole province of beasts and beastmen. Until the Garlean's arrival, that is, for you may be certain that the Empire would not hesitate to claim Karthus, and would not even have to draw steel. An imperial province sharing a border with Mordona. 7 hills. Very well. We will assist you in repelling the dragons. The roar of a great worm may have shaken the firmament, but we of Eorzea will not abandon our Ishgardian brothers to face the coming horde alone. But this guy? I think that's a cutie right there? What is it? What's doing it for you? Is it like the dreamy eyes? The chiseled jaw? I don't know, like, what's so cute about him? His, like, wistful haircut? His ice blue eyes? His sharp eyebrows? Smoochable? I don't know. He's kind of got I mean, no offense when I say this, he's kind of got a mullet. It's like pretty short in the front, but very long in the back. It's not business in the front, per se. Automod held a message. Romulan ass twink. Allow. In fact, pin this message. Romulan ass twink. There we go. We will pin this for 2 hours. Oh, 30 minutes is the max? Okay. Allow me, Sir Emeric. Through the power of the eye, I've become the vessel of Nidhogg's strength. His essence is stolen into my very blood. I love when the camera does like a quick zoom in on a shocked face, like Home Alone style. Fear not, I am in control of my faculties, I assure you, and the eye itself is of no relevance to this tale. It is not essential that I bear it with me wherever I go. Wheresoever I go. Its lingering influence does, however, allow me to hear Nidhogg's voice. Romulan is the most Star Trek sounding word I've ever heard. Do you know, or did you just guess correctly? Or did you look it up? Then the worm who roared was Nidhogg. Aye, he means to hurl his horde against Danafin's color and shatter the remaining wards that protect the city. There can be no doubt that the worm has summoned his minions to war. I love when they spell worm with a Y. I know that's like how dragons are, but it's really fun. It's like worm. All of the outfits are so styled. Yeah, we finally reached the part of the game where everyone, like, has a cool outfit. As opposed to base game Yida. You've heard it before, but you didn't really think... You don't really know much about it. You know how, like, Vulcans are, like, elves but logical, and they, like, are very emotionally frustrated? Romulans are, like, the opposite. They're the elves, except, they, act on emotion and gut feeling a lot of the time. And sometimes don't make the best decisions. But they're like literally very closely related species. They almost look identical. Though the circumstances are far from ideal, this desperate endeavor will at least provide us an opportunity to bring the sister states of Eorthy together in common cause. Sounds like you? What, there are 2 aliens inside of you? Sir Emeric was more ruthless in his negotiations than I had anticipated. I suppose one must give no quarter when one's home is at stake. But did you see the look on his face when he formally requested our assistance? That the Lord Commander's long campaign for the Ishgard to open its gates to outset his expect a softening of the Holy See's attitude towards foreign cooperation comes to something of a bittersweet victory. But he had life out promising, blah, 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 yes. Very interesting, Alphino. We are to aid the Ishgardians of this war. There's preparations left to be made, and soon. Before proceeding, however, we must needs return to the Rising Stones and make our report to the antecedent. Let me know when you want to do the trials. Do you have a time limit? Is there like a time you're occupied today? Report to the antecedent. You're gonna play pickleball at like 12:30? Okay, so be mindful of it, but it's not like a rush right now. Maybe like 10:30 or 11, something like that. Would that work? Maybe 10. I also need to do some of the Crystal Tower stuff today. I don't know if you want to join for that or not, but it's an option. Does my webcam look like darker than normal? It looks like I'm streaming out of a cave. Is my light turned off. It ran out of juice, I guess. Need to charge this. You are slightly in the shadows. I do this. Okay. It's charging at this angle, and I think it's working okay. Maybe not the most flattering angle, but whatever. It's also kind of in my eye, but I don't care. I could. You probably want someone to do danger. What is Danger Dorito? Please explain Danger Dorito.
Alphino, it is good to see you. Tell me,
Please
what have you
clap.
learned?
Was that just a test, Ethan? Just to make sure it's working? Also, this is a voiced cutscene. The voice actors are speaking when the characters speak. But when the cutscene started, Minfilia was just moving her mouth and no sounds were coming out. Which I can only take to mean that she was like literally just like going. You mark a skilled player with a large triangle so that way during fights you just follow the triangle.
Pray summon the others. Everyone must hear my report.
I do not understand. This is for Crystal Tower stuff? Is it ill-advised to just go into the Crystal Tower by myself? And like queue with randos? If I don't know what I'm doing?
So this was all but a taste of what's to come.
It would be for Crystal Tower, damn it.
Indeed. The main host advances upon Ishgard as we speak.
Whose vaunted defenses have been nullified.
Shorn of its wards, the city will bear the full force of Nidhogg's fury.
You can go and solo the Doritos just to make it so you die less. Do you think if I went in solo, is it like the trust system? Is it other NPCs or is it like other people that are queued up? And if it is other people, like what is it? I have no clue what it is.
All those people.
Yeah, 24 people. All those people. Do you think it's likely someone would self-identify as Danger Dorito? Would I have to do anything?
Alphino is right. The Dravanians cannot be allowed to prevail. If Ishgard falls, all of Eorzea will suffer the consequences.
Then you agree that we have no choice but to intervene. For the good of the realm, the Scions of the Seventh Dawn and the Crystal Braves must join the defense of Ishgard.
Do you doubt that someone would self-identify as the Danger Dorito, or do you doubt that I would need to ask someone? Most people just run through it really fast. Oh, you're just saying, like, for me personally, I might need a Danger Dorito. Because newer / lower leveled / don't really know what I'm doing as much.
We would be directly intervening in the war.
It's hella old content and no one enjoys it anymore.
But if all here believe the cause to be just, then to war we shall go. The path we now embark upon is perilous, but I pray you will walk with us to the end. For those we have lost, for those we can yet save.
Maybe the angled up lighting looks better than the angled down lighting, actually. I'm not sure. I might like that more. There are people who scammed the system and have ruined that raid for the rest of us. Please explain the scam. And how it like negatively affects everyone else.
Then it is settled. I shall inform the council of our intentions and request that they contribute their own forces to the defense of Ishgard.
Ishgard. Much do you know about gear level? I don't. I don't really feel like that meeting wrapped up. It feels like people just started leaving the room. Again, they're just moving their mouths but in a voiced cutscene. It's very bizarre. Gear pieces have an item level associated with them. So if I look at like... Okay, item level 130, 130, 130. Looks like everything... Most of what I have is item level 130. 115, 90, 30. Telepathically consulting with his self. Oh, with his elf. Yeah, isn't telepathically consulting with yourself just thinking? Content like dungeons, trials, raids, etc. have requirements to meet a specific item level to join it. Like, you can't join unless your item level is that high, or does it do the Pokemon thing where it's going to, like, adjust your levels up to meet the baseline? They have bid the Archons travel to their assigned nations. Should the members of the Alliance agree to pledge Grand Company soldiers to Ishgard's cause, our comrades will be on hand to act as intermediaries for the duration of the conflict. Must be high enough to enter, okay. Understood. The small matter of persuading the Alliance leaders to grant such support I leave to Alphino. For you, my friend, a different task awaits. I would have you reach out to your fellow adventurers and gather what allies you may have for the coming siege. I would also have you consider the matter of your own security. Revenant's Toll is but a short flight from the snowfields of Korthus. It is not unimaginable that fighting may spill across the border. May brief Slothborn on the brewing conflict and discuss potential contingencies. The frontier settlers must be prepared for aught that might wing in its way over our walls. I only hope that such precautions prove unnecessary. Before you leave, I might suggest that you have Tataru accompany you. Use a talent for administration and a firm grasp on the practical challenges we may encounter. So let's say that to join the Crystal Tower raids you need 120 item level. And to do any other raids you need like 300 plus. IDK the exact numbers. So is Crystal Tower actually like a way lower item level than other raids? We are close to Korthus, aren't we? We best see to our own defenses and take stock of our supplies. And we'll also need to have beds and bandages laid out just in case. A good receptionist is ready for any eventuality. Let's go, Ryugo. I have 101 things to discuss with Slothborn. What these scammers do, despite being max level or 600 item level, they will just equip shit gear and then queue into the roulette system, and the roulette can only choose Crystal Tower raids because of their gear. Just equip shit gear and... Okay. Well, okay, so... I understand what you're saying, but that sounds like just a way to always queue into Crystal Tower. How does that negatively affect everyone else? Because, like, aren't the item levels appropriate for Crystal Tower? Or they, like, literally do they throw when they get to Crystal Tower, like they're just fucking with people? It's a shit raid in comparison to the others. Oh, so it forces everyone else to go to Crystal Tower when they, in, like, that group of people that it's finding, when it could have opened up the eventuality of, like, a lot of other ones. It forces everyone that you're being paired with to go to Crystal Tower, because it's the only one that qualifies. And people don't want to do that. I appreciate the warning. If war is coming to Korthus, then the toll must be made ready. I'll increase the number of patrols and lookouts immediately. I'll also see about finding room for an infirmary, as well as temporary housing for victims of the conflict. Ishgard has done well by us in the past, and I will return the favor. But as for rounding up volunteers for the fighting itself, I'm afraid I must disappoint you. I will not send my fellow guild members to die on Ishgardian soil, and I'm certain headquarters will say the same. There will be no official Adventurers Guild presence at the siege. That said, each adventurer is of course free to do as he or she will. I shall have a word with some of my more capable colleagues on your behalf, and you might try your luck here in Revenant Stoll. I dare say there are a few stout souls about town who will seek to answer your call to arms. We could be doing the near raids, but instead we were in baby dungeons for the 60,000th time. So if someone wants specifically to actually do the Crystal Tower raids, like they're not just trying to be a shitter, but they actually want to do them, what's the appropriate way to do that? Without, like, screwing people over. Just queue it up. So, okay, so if I go into Duty Finder, right? This is Crystal Tower raid, right? So I would just queue up for it manually like that. But what's the option for, like, pissing people off? Is there gonna be, like, a daily roulette thing here for raids? And if you, like, are trying to go to Crystal Tower with shit gear, with the raid option here in the daily roulette or whatever, or the duty roulette, then it's gonna piss people off? Okay, okay, understood, I get it now. I also unlocked these, but I haven't done them yet. The Binding Coil of Bahamut. Let's get started, shall we? We have a town to rouse. Those are 8-man raids. Yeah, I finally found where... Is it Alessi? I found where she was. Drive 5 feet. Oh, I like this guy's mask. Spare me of your talk of glory and fame. I'm not in the habit of volunteering for lost causes. Alice. Alphino and Alice. Ali or Ally? One or two. Alice. I have survived this long by trusting my instincts. Alice, okay. And my instincts tell me to stay well away from Ishgard. Okay, the game is doing the thing again where it asks you to talk to, like, X amount of NPCs and they're all gonna be asses about it, and then you don't accomplish your goal at all. We've been through this song and dance many times. Ishgard sounds like she's in a right mess, but that ain't what I wanted to talk to you about. I need you to cast your mind back to the scuffle with the Empire out by the processing plant. A lad from Little Alamigo by the name of Wilfrid was there on the 4th day, and I want to know if you've seen him since. Have ye? God's damn it. I feared as much. No one's bloody seen him. The ground opened up and swallowed him whole. But that ain't all. Around the time Wilfrid stopped turning up for duty, then black market weapons went missing from our vault in Old Daw. Now, of course, half the Braves suspect the lad of making off with the goods. Won't let me believe our company's a disciplined fighting force. But as you and me both know, it's no more than a motley collection of mercenaries, adventurers, and Grand Company veterans. The only thing that binds us together is some vague oath about fighting for the freedom of all. That and the steady pay. Now, compared to most others in the crew, Realwood's a fresh-faced novice. Bleeding whelp amongst wolves, but the boy's got passion and he talked about being a guardian of Eorzea. He bloody well meant it. Lad like him wouldn't rob us blind and bugger off like that. He ain't the type. I can't bring the dog in here because the dog is way bigger than you would think, and I couldn't position him in front of the camera, and also he'd just, like, destroy my desk. But I do think I have a picture I can show you. Does this work? I don't know if I can just hold my phone up to the screen and it works like that. Not stabilized. That's Broly. He looks a little chunky. He's got like a big head. Maybe it's the angle, but he's actually quite thin. He's got a relatively big head though. He's a good boy. He likes to, we've let him jump into the bed. He likes to cuddle in the bed. Obviously he likes to run and play. He does fetch real good. He responds to commands. We think he's a little on edge just because he hasn't seen his owners in a few days. And there's a lot of construction going on outside, so he's upset by the barking. But he's like house trained. He's a good communicator. He's actually good around cats, but the cats aren't good around him, so they're like terrified and they're just hiding. I feel really bad actually, because I didn't know the cats would be this like afraid by him. They've been around dogs before, but not dogs like this big or loud. Faye. Did you see it? I was testing that one out and I meant to make it last longer, but I didn't know how to make it longer. The OBS extension I'm using that does the rewards theater stuff is kind of limited. I was thinking about maybe trying to... It's like an open source extension, maybe trying to make some changes myself, but I was looking at the code base and got a little bit confused, so I'm not so sure if I want to spend time on it. I might just find a hacky way to literally extend the GIF, because all it can do is play the GIF for one loop, so maybe I'll just manually make it loop multiple times. Same with the meat spin burger. This is just between you and me, but there's the fact that the lad wanted to tell me about something queer he noticed up in the ledgers. Something about the Braves' numbers not adding up. The villain at the end of this trail I've stumbled on, and I'll bet me good eye it ain't Wilrid. Any roads, we got a water wage, so I'll let you on. I just thought someone should know. I'll be seeing you, Ryugo. But ideally, I want Furt to walk for a little bit longer and play the Accumula town theme while it's happening. I don't know how many of you we've told this, but there's a good chance we'll be getting our own dog soon. So, Ishgard seeks sellswords to bolster its ranks, eh? I'm not sure I like the sound of the siege, those nobles would surely be generous with their rewards. But I've pledged myself to guard Revenant's toll. Modest work though it is, I am loath to break the terms of my contract. What to do. It's okay. I've already explained Broly barking to everyone. I showed a picture of Broly. Also, Kristen, you're allowed to walk through here. You don't have to, like, hide. It's also your office. We're probably going to be getting a dachshund. Because the cats weren't too offended by Amy's dachshunds, and Amy might be, having one of her dogs, Brody, breed soon, so we might take one of the babies. Yeah, the siding is done, which is making the dog bark a lot more. Yeah, these things are accepted. Volunteer my services in defense of Ishgard? I think not. Dragons claim the life of every one of my brothers, and I do not mean to offer them mine. I was to escape such a fate that I took up the mantle of adventure in the first place. I would sooner die in the pursuit of fortune than huddled behind an icy wall. Angular adventurer. He's an angular adventurer. Broly's just bored. He might be, yeah. We've been trying to take him on walks. We've been doing twice a day. I don't know if that's enough for him, but sell me blade to the Ishgardians. Both them dragons are a fearsome lot, but I'd slay me fair share if the coin was good. I've worked for one of them nights before, you know, watched me like a bloody hawk you did. Still, I'd put up with worse than that for a heavy purse. Hit mix may have a lot of stamina. Oh yeah. Oh wait, here he is, hold on. No, dog's in the room, hold on. Maybe I can just angle the camera. Oh, I can't do that. Oh, buddy. Hold on.
Oh no. Dave's gonna get him.
Yeah, you're a good boy, aren't ya?
Hey, Broly. Hi.
Yo, Daisy is gonna get his nose if he goes back over there.
Yeah, he's sticking to the rat cage. Daisy will, like, scratch and bite if you're outside of the cage. But if you open the cage up, she becomes a big baby.
Over Daisy. What is it, Brody? Brody. Want to go back out?
Thank you.
Of course.
People wanted to see Broly.
Did they?
Yeah. I hope you don't mind I'm inconveniencing your office space on your day off.
Your Honor. Hey.
I gave the rats some yogi drops this morning.
Oh, good.
We ran out of the small ones, didn't we? It's the big ones again?
Yeah.
That's fine. Faye says you could always play 14 as well.
Oh, could I?
Yeah.
For 1 week.
For 1 week. Well, you could do it over the summer.
Oh, true. And then you can walk me through everything. No one has.
Maybe. There you are. Did you sway any hearts? One or two, eh? Well, added to mine, that makes 3 or 4, not including Slathborn's friends. We won't have the largest company in the army, but I'd say one Revenant's Toll veteran is worth a dozen clanking knights at least. I've been so caught up in recruiting that I almost forgot. There's been word from Alphino. It's a very small potato. Apparently the Alliance leaders are convening in Ul'dah to discuss Ishgard's plight. They've requested your presence as usual. Make your way to Ul'dah. You'll be late. Alphino says he would meet you there on the Royal Promenade, yada yada. Teleport. Thanalan. Ul'dah. Ever thought about playing SMT/Persona? Yes. I will. It's just a matter of when. I played for the first bit of Persona 5 just to see if I'd like it. I played through the I forget his name, but the fucked up teacher. Is it Kawashima? His dungeon? And I liked it a lot. I wasn't ready to commit to the full playthrough though. So I'll probably do 5 first, because it's it seems to be the most popular and it's one of the newer ones, and then I'll probably go from there. I know you can play the Persona games in any order, right? SMT, it's a little bit more, a little bit different. From what I understand it, it is kind of like Final Fantasy in the sense that there's a bunch of numbered games that are separate, but they sometimes have sequels, right? So you can play like SMT 4 or 3 or whatever, but then there's like sequel games to those and you want to play those in order. You giving them a treat? Nah. Trick. Is the new SMT5 like a remastered version, or is it a sequel? I was kind of confused by the trailer. Shin Megami Tensei. Which is like, what is it, New Goddess Tales or something like that? What does Tensei mean? Reincarnation or rebirth. Like rebirth of the new goddess or something like that. It's the series that Persona overshadowed. Let me in. Vengeance is an alternate campaign. So it's a re-release slash remaster, but with new content. My apologies for calling you away from your tasks. I had hoped to proceed with these negotiations one leader at a time. It seems my urgent requests for an audience have prompted a gathering of the council. Can you buy the alternate content as DLC if you already have the first game? Needless to say, I felt obliged to attend. Oh, okay, it's like a royale type of thing. The alliance leaders, let's join them, yada yada. So much plot happening. Gang's all here.
We are well aware of Ishgard's dilemma, and we agree with your assessment.
Thanks.
Then I trust there are no objections to the Crystal Braves' intervention.
Uldar has none.
Gridania does not object.
The Crystal Braves are yours to command, Alphino. Do what you will. We shall pray for your success.
Merylwib.
It was my hope that you would offer more substantial aid than prayer. I know it is within your means.
Ooh, very sarcastic. Mommy?
Do not presume that you have not.
Look how small she is in that chair.
The Garleans and the Beast Tribes are but two of many. We are not in a position to contribute greatly to the defense of Ishgard. Not when our own homes are still under siege.
Wait, who's Sam Riegel? Which character's Sam Riegel? Ram Siegel?
We dare not leave our interests in Cartano undefended as well.
But only for the base game.
Adeleji and his ilk would seize control of the territories in our absence.
Adeleji. Insane name.
The enemy is at their gates, and you would cower behind yours?
Mm-hmm.
No one is cowering, boy. We will offer what support we can.
Ironically, like, if we're just talking about story and characters and aesthetics and stuff and music, the one that's drawn me in the most is Persona 4. Out of, like, the three modern Persona games, it's the only one that doesn't have, like, a modern release. Like, it's got Golden, which has been re-released on Steam and Switch, but, you know, Persona 3 has, like, remake. But maybe it doesn't need it.
Aye, support. A handful of men and no more.
Would that we could commit more than a token force to this cause. Yet there are others to whom you might turn. The free companies ever want for work.
Who is your favorite NPC in this room? Okay, who all is in the room? It's Alphino, me, and the three alliance leaders? Is there anyone else? I haven't really gotten, like, a full view of the room, I feel like.
Ah, yes.
Since the beginning.
Companies. They're not like to turn you down.
I beg your pardon? You would entrust the survival of Ishgard to sell swords?
I mean, counting the Crystal Braves, you've basically got the 4 Grand Company leaders here, right? You're asking me to choose my favorite one. In-game, my character is Grand Companied with Twin Adder, but I think she is my least favorite of the characters in this room, actually. I just joined Twin Adder because I like the woods the most out of all the areas in the game. Like tree and wood. Gridania is like a location. Gridania is probably my favorite. You like the Keebler elf with the earring. Good, because he's the main character of this game. Synmyn is whack. She just talks, she talks like Elden Ring characters, and what I mean by that is she speaks and like my brain just like blows it out the other side. I can't process any of it, it just is air to me. I like Rebound and Merriwhip a lot. In different ways, I'd say. I like all 3 of them except for Khan Isana, I think. If you're making me pick one, I'm gonna say Rebound. But it's pretty close between those top 3.
Crises like these
Lamb's
are the
desk.
very reason why this alliance was formed. It is our duty to aid our fellow man.
My duty is to my country and my people.
What really does it for me with Rebound is all the scenes where he's carrying, what's-her-face, the princess, on his shoulder. I love that shit. And the one time he was alone in the room, screaming and having a fuss, and talking about how he was gonna, like, kill all the monitorists. Or something like that. My duty is to my country and my people. Yes. Rebound's son. I don't know if I met Rebound's son.
Of a foreign power above our own, you're going to be sorely disappointed. Lest you doubt, Limsa comes first, then the Alliance,
Pippin.
and finally, circumstances permitting.
Is his name
Ishgard and the
Pippin?
rest.
Wait, hold on. Pippin. Pippin is one of my favorite characters in Berserk. Hold on. I want to show you, since, like, I don't think you're going to read it anytime soon, I want to show you Pippin from Berserk. I love this guy. This is Pippin from Berserk. This guy's great. I'm gonna hide him now. Vati has been making you want to try and read Berserk. Man looks like he knows where to find the best chili dog in Chicago. Listen, I'm shocked you haven't already read Berserk, considering... I'm not surprised for Dylan because I understand. You've explained it before. A ton of Elden Ring is based on Berserk. Elden Ring, like, is blatantly ripping off Berserk. Like... It's like, I don't, like, if someone says homage, it's like, okay, sure. Yeah, homage.
If you cannot
Like, a lot of fantasy does the big,
you have no place at this table.
the big important tree thing. There's usually some, like, Yggdrasil type of tree thing. Erd tree in this case. The Erd tree... I'm not gonna talk much more, just read Berserk. A lot of the game is based on a character named Griffin. I'm not gonna tell you about Griffin, but I think I might show you a picture of Griffin, because I'm curious if maybe... Or Griffith, not Griffin, Griffith. I'm curious if Griffith's armor is maybe important in Elden Ring at all, and I just missed it. Actually, no, it might be a spoiler to show that. I'll show base Griffith, so you know what he looks like. You're gonna make me want to read Berserk again. This is Griffith. Read it to you like an audiobook. Griffith is a character in Berserk, and that's all I'm gonna say. Faye? Berserk streams? Can you get DMCA'd for, like, reading manga to people on stream? Can you get takedowns for that? I actually... Cause I'm thinking, like, Dylan, maybe I could, like, get you to have Berserk happen that way. Like bedtime story Berserk. But yes, Faye, you should read it after you catch up on One Piece, because you're so close to catching up on One Piece. But we have all the hard copies. We have all the hard copies. They're beautiful, big printed books that we spent way too much money on, and I want people to use them. It's extremely well written. It's the most beautiful art I've ever read in any manga or comic. It does get a little, like, grisly in maybe not a great way. Like, sometimes it pushes the line a bit too much, but it's not indulgent, it's in service of the story. You made it to chapter 950 in One Piece. Sorry, I'm like... I abruptly stopped the meeting for manga talk for a second, but now I'm looking up where chapter 150 is. I want to know what's going on where you are. Okay, you're in the prison in Udon. Okay.
Forgive me, Admiral. I was careless in my choice of words.
I suggest you assemble a party of elite adventurers, assuming you haven't already. Your fellows served us well during Operation Archon. I dare say they will do so again.
They just finished breaking out. Queen was focused on taking Big Mom away. Okay, okay. Yeah, you're in, like, the meat of Wano. Berserk creator stole from Verhoeven's Flesh and Blood, so it's FromSoft carrying the tradition.
If I may, Your Grace, I wish to propose a redistribution of forces.
Flesh and Blood. I can't comment, I don't know what that is. It's a Verhoeven movie. I heard he might be coming back. I heard Paul Verhoeven might be coming back. But I haven't seen Flesh and Blood. I am reading the summary of Flesh and Blood. It doesn't seem to... It doesn't seem to have the fantasy aspect in common per se, but it seems like maybe some of the character art... I did a very, very brief scan of the plot. It seems like maybe the character motivations and relationships may be similar. Is that what you're getting at? Like maybe some of the things that happen between Griffith and Guts are similar? It's the aesthetics. Maybe I should look at Google Images then. Flesh and Blood. Movie. I'm not saying it's just the screenshots. I'll have to, like, actually check out the movie. I'll have to check out the movie. The thing that I think is the most, like, Elden Ring just took this from Berserk is like the stuff with the tree in Berserk, and I don't want to talk about it because that's kind of far in.
If we entrust the security of Uldar to the Brass Blades,
it's extremely similar.
We can dispatch a larger force to Ishgard. Your Grace?
Oh, I didn't even realize she was in the room. She's not on the list. I like her, but she's not part of the list.
Yes. Yes, of course. Do what you will.
But yes, Faye read Berserk.
Is Her Grace not feeling well?
To the best of my knowledge, Her Grace is in perfect health.
Lady in waiting.
I see. Carry on.
How many chapters does Berserk have? Berserk is less than 400 chapters. Also, I'll tell you this, it's a lot of a quicker read than One Piece. Berserk is a very quick read in my opinion because, a lot of the physical space of the imagery is taken up portraying the fights. And it goes through those motions very quickly, like you're just scanning along it really quickly. And it's got like big spreads too that take up a lot of places, a lot of pages, like big double spreads. Blame. You've tried to get me on Blame before, but I didn't get started on it. Oh, is Blame the one that takes place on like the big, like endless spaceship? Like the big decrepit. I might want to borrow those ones, yeah, I'd be interested in that. That was interesting to me when you described it the first time and I'd never got on it. If you have the books though, that's a big sell for me because I love reading the physical volumes if they're available. You're really close on One Piece. But I know like, you probably have, like, you're so far in and you're so close to finishing it, but you probably just have the fatigue too, right? So it's hard to push through. Once again, I owe you an apology. It seems you've been conscripted into leading a contingent of adventurers on another mission of inestimable danger. But I fear we have been left with little alternative. We cannot well abandon Lord Hoshfa and Sir Emeric to their fate. We must abide by the Council's decision, as short-sighted as it is, and strive to fulfill our roles as Eorzea's guardians. I will say this, Oda's taking like a 3-week break. So, if you were to catch up on One Piece within 3 weeks, no new material would come out in that time. The pacing is very bad, especially post-time skip. Especially in Dressrosa and especially in Wano. Once you get through Wano to current arc, the pacing gets really good. It picks up really well. Apparently he got a new editor after Wano, but I'm not sure about that. The pacing in the current stuff is amazing. But yeah, where you are... I can't really speak, because I haven't read One Piece beyond a certain point in Wano. I've only heard the secondhand, but I've heard that the pacing is really bad in Wano and Dressrosa, even in the manga. It definitely was in the anime. Captain Ilbert, what news? The assault has begun. We have but this moment concluded our audience with the Alliance leaders. Move our forces into position. Your unit will join House Durandar at the Steel Vigil. Man the cannons alongside the knights and thin the Dravinian horde ere they descend upon Ishgard. I shall join you as soon as I am able. Ethan, are you reading Kaiju number 8 at all? Do you like Kaiju number 8? Report first to Sir Marcelin at the Gates of Judgment. He will direct you to where you are needed most. May the gods grant us victory. It's, the Gestalt. Basically, like, the Japanese Defense Forces have a branch entirely dedicated to dealing with kaiju, because they're a common threat that have been coming from the ocean. There's, like, major ones and minor ones. And there's, like, a waste disposal unit, too, that, like, clean up the mess after the kaiju has been slain. But it's basically about a guy trying to, like, rise through the ranks within that military force. He's got some relationships, he's got some secrets. It's pretty good. It's only like 100 chapters right now. I think it's getting an anime soon. I think, yeah, Faye was the one that told me about that. You are the appointed captain of the sellsword contingent? Then welcome. There is no shortage of blade work to be done. As we speak, Dravinian skirmishing parties are harrying positions across the Central Highlands. Yeah, you should check it out. Especially if you read quickly. Like, I'm a slow manga reader. It didn't take me that long to get through it once I, like, set my mind to it. I've assigned the Crystal Braves and your fellow adventurers to contain these scattered attacks, and for the present I would have you join them. This is, of course, merely a precursor to the assault on Ishgard proper. The wily serpents seek to divide and confuse our forces, but we will not be so easily drawn out of position. The Temple Knights will remain on the steps of faith and continue our preparations. When the Horde arrives in force, they shall face a wall of Ishgardians. You'll report back to me once their advanced skirmishes are slain. Oh, Ethan, I saw End of Evangelion in theater. Which was just as awkward as I thought it would be. I always forget that the movie opens with the cum scene. The hospital scene. She could turn back time. I know it's maybe like trite at this point, but I always do get chills when the song starts playing and that whole sequence happens. Really good in the theater. Just keeps tumbling down. I don't know why attack wasn't happening. Ow. Hold on, everyone. Oh, embarrassing. Oh, another wave? I'm not built to handle that. You know, Ethan, I still haven't finished the Rebirth movies. Or the Rebuild movies, I mean. I never saw the 4th one. I need to watch those. Oh, there's more. I think 2.22 or whatever was the first Evangelion thing I saw, because I think I saw a streaming of it at Animazement. And then I went back and watched 1 in the, like, original series in End of Eva. And then 3 came out. I remember we watched 3 together, but I don't remember what happened at all in 3. I remember being extremely confused by 3, and then I just never saw 4, because there was like a 10-year delay. But I want to rewatch all of them at once, I think. Yeah, I'd love to do that. Ooh, big bruiser over here. Patching right now, but you're booting up the game? Okay, cool. Oh yeah, it is almost 10:30, isn't it? You're out of bar purgatory, gotta go. You know how quick you kill these bosses? Yeah, just take me through it real quick, like... I don't know, would you have time to do Crystal Tower stuff too if it's gonna be that quick? We'll see. Okay, I don't know how long Crystal Tower takes. I'm on the wrong side of the Gate of Judgment. What news, adventurer? The reinforcements? Decimated, you say? Dravinian devils, damn their scaly hides. Hold fast to your grief and fury, sir. We will avenge the deaths of your fellows in the battle to come. The Steps of Faith. Ere you commit yourself to the siege, you should know what it is you are tasked with defending. Beyond the Gate of Judgment lies the Steps of Faith. Very great bridge of stone that leads directly to the city of Ishgard. More than simply a means to cross the Sea of Clouds, the bridge serves as the foundation for the arcane wards that form the barrier we call Danafin's Collar. Okay, Faye, I think I'll finish this little cutscene, accept this quest. I think I'll take a small BRB after that and get some like more coffee, use the bathroom, and then hop back on. So, is that okay? Maybe like 5 minutes? Alas, in dispelling the barrier's outermost layers, that thrice-damned witch Iceheart stripped the bridge of its protection, and thus are the dragons now able to land unhindered upon the steps of faith. Should the Dravinians succeed in destroying the remainder of the wards, the winged devils will be free to swarm within the city itself. Needless to say, we cannot suffer that to happen. It shall be our task as defenders to prevent any harm from coming to those parts of the bridge wherein the wards are sealed. 3 yet remain, and we have dispatched our forces accordingly. I would ask that you and your comrades to accompany our defenders to the outermost ward. I should hope that includes us as well, yes? That was a really weird shot. The Scions of the 7th Dawn? Wow. We could not well stand idly by while the Horde threatens the good people of Ishgard. Indeed, to do otherwise would go against all that Master Louisoix taught us. As for where we may be of the most assistance, I think it prudent we divide into 2 groups. Ida and I will join the rear guard. Right, if the dragons should reach us, we'll be sure to give them what for. What for? Thank you, all of you. Pray speak with me again when your preparations are complete, and together we shall stand against the Horde. The Horde. This trial. Okay. Yes, now I will take the BRB, and we'll join up after that.